Insta360 1R Twin Edition, first impression. As always, I bought it with my own money, so my opinion is honest as it could be. Why I even got it? So lately I've been recording some, I would say, POV videos, and A6600 does not have a good stabilization, so these videos were kind of crappy and were really hard to watch, and everything was shaking and it hurt my eyes. So I thought I should get something with really good stabilization. So I was debating Olympus EM5 Mark III, but it turned out it doesn't have auto ISO option in manual video mode, and there were some other caveats. So for the price, it was not worth it. So for a moment, I resigned from buying camera with better stabilization. But then I remind myself that there are action cameras and they got really good stabilization. And regarding the quality, yeah, it's a trade-off, but I don't expect really good quality for POV video. And also, sometimes I do sports, or when I do photography, it would be nice to use small camera to create also POV or some kind of the BTS. So I decided to buy action camera, and the Insta360 1R got quite nice reviews, although as always reviews on YouTube, so you could treat them with a grain of salt. But I checked few, and it seems that Insta360 1R Twin Edition is the best deal possible. I got the Twin Edition, so you got 4K module, the core module, the battery, the cage, 360 module. I also got mic adapter and this additional boosted battery. So what is my first impression and what caveats I already seen? So first of all, you need a cell phone to steer it really, because you got only power on and the record button here, although you can use the touch screen to change the settings. But if you got it mounted somewhere, it's quite hard to start recording and you don't know if the recording is started or not. There are tele lights, but you won't see them if you got it mounted here. So cell phone might be handy. And they list compatible cell phones on their site, but they claim that the list they present allows you to edit photos and videos on the cell phone with the Insta360 app, because this app got quite high requirements like any video editing app. So you need powerful processor. So they list processor which allows you or which gives you good user experience, and there is also claim that with other processor you can run the application but it won't be smooth and you won't get good user experience with it. So as always, I got my trusty Samsung J6, and I thought I won't be editing videos on the phone, because there is also desktop version of the Studio app. For me, it's easier to use keyboard and mouse, so I said that it's not a big deal. But I was really surprised, because when I got the camera, I assembled it, I turned it on, and I wanted to just quickly record something. The camera said, "Dude, you need to activate the camera through the application." I was like, what? So I was, okay, I would install this application and quickly activate the camera and shoot something to see how the camera works. And my surprise was, I cannot install on the Samsung J6. It seems it is the same story as application for Mavic Mini. You need 64-bit Android for this to work. So if you don't have iPhone or 60-bit Android phone, you won't be able to activate this camera and you won't be able to use it. So have in mind that you need such a phone. Of course, if you know someone who got such a phone, you can borrow the phone for a minute and activate the camera, then use it. but you won't be able to, for example, start recording from the cell phone. So it seems you need 64-bit Android device with 64-bit Android. This one is 60-bit for processor, but the Android version for some reason is 32-bit. So you won't be able to do it. And there are a lot of phones, I checked it when I got Mavic Mini, and there are a lot of phones which are 64-bit hardware platform, but the Android version is 34-bit. So we won't be able to run Insta360 application for this camera. So have this in mind. This is quite important, because if you don't have such phone, you won't be even able to activate this and start and push the record button on the camera itself. It would say like, dude, you need to activate. Really strange. I thought that if you buy something, you can use it. If there is a record button, you can press record and record video, but no. So get either an iPhone or true 64-bit Android device with 64-bit Android installed, and then you can install this application to activate the camera. But luckily I got this phone which I bought for the Mavic Mini, because it was the same case for Mavic Mini, that their application is only 64-bit for Android. So this is the cheapest phone I have found with 64-bit Android. It was around $100, maybe even less, because I got it on sale. This Redmi Note 5. So the application works fine on this phone, but it's quite a big application. So second word problems, it took like 20 minutes to download it and install it. So the whole procedure to get the camera running from the moment I got it took like 1.5 hours. So really strange. But anyway, you need this app to activate the camera, and activation was just one click. Although I have to search through the application to find where to click, but it was just one click and then camera started working. So, but the application is really good, but you need a powerful phone to use the application. But you can edit videos on the phone quite easily, so the application is good. The one caveat of the application on the phone is that you can export only HD videos, no 4K option. So regarding the build quality, all the modules seems really nice. Like everything is nice, everything is snug. The cage itself feels a little flimsy and plasticky, and especially the 4K mode, it moves a bit in the cage, and sometimes you cannot press these buttons because they are not aligned with the body of the camera. But other than that, everything seems to have really good build quality. There are sometimes problems with this flap when you put SD card and where you charge. So here's the USB-C port, but other than that, I do not have any complaints yet regarding the quality. So I already shot few videos. I'm really happy the quality of 360 module. The videos are quite impressive, although it is not like full frame camera, so you have align your expectations with the camera technology, but it is still impressive. One limitation is that it's only shoot 30 frames per second with the highest resolution possible, but I shot some dynamic videos on my scooter and it seemed okay. Stabilization was really nice. Of course, if you zoomed in, there was pixelization, but apart of that, I was positively surprised with the quality of video coming from this model. Then we also tried 4K 60. It was also good, although resolution was lower. So far, this module is really nice. So I have no complaints. Maybe the only complaint is that you got this cover, because there are two lenses, so there is really no way to put it away if you got this module on a camera. So there is a cover, and the natural way to take the cover is to push it like that, and you always smear both lenses with your fingers, but you have to learn to take it like that. And that's the only annoying thing I've seen so far, but the rest impressive. Regarding the camera itself, what annoys me really is when I don't know if my copy is like that or this is the feature, when I turn on the camera, it always turn on in a photo mode. So you cannot start recording by pushing this button, because you have to scroll through the modes and choose the video mode. So if you got it mounted and you turn it on, then there is no way to start shooting video. At least I haven't found one. So you have to use the application. Although probably application is a good choice anyway, because you see the preview, which is important for 4K module. If you think you can just power it on and start recording, it's not the case. Kind of annoying. Yeah, I also got additional battery, which is a boosted one, 2 times bigger capacity. The caveat is you have to charge the battery via core module of the camera, so you have to connect the battery to the camera, and since this one is bigger, you have to disassemble the whole thing. So remove the camera from the cage, change the battery, and then start charging, which is kind of annoying. There is an option, you can buy additional charger which charges 2 batteries at once, and that could be from Insta, or there are some third-party chargers, but each of them cost $50, so kind of surprising price. I thought from the reviews that there is also USB port somewhere on the battery, but there is not. So to charge it, you have to connect battery to the camera, open the flap, connect USB-C charger and charge it. So not the best option in my opinion, but it is what it is. I guess I would get the charger later, because I guess I would be annoyed after charging it 10 times like that. And with this battery, you lose a bit of the water tightening, so the camera in the cage is watertight up to 5 meters, but with this battery it is only 1 meter. So, but I won't dive with this camera anyway, at least now, so not a big deal. So 360 module, I've shot some dynamic actions outside and some stuff inside. There was some noise when I use it inside, especially with the bad lighting, but it was still acceptable and impressive. And regarding the 4K module, I've also shot some shots inside and some action shots, some walking shots and stuff like that. I would put links somewhere here or here, I don't know. I won't include the sample footage here because some footage is 60p, some footage is 30p, some footage is 24p, some footage is 50p, because some modes are limited to 50p or 30p. So it's not possible to put it into one timeline here. So I would upload sample videos separately, but so far internal shots are really grainy, although you got an option in desktop application to remove the noise, which seems to work quite nice. You remove the noise when you export the videos from the application, so it gets a little bit softer. I would put some example at the end of this video, and also it would be compared to the A6600 with the same conditions, so you can judge yourself. So far I'm not impressed with the quality when shooting inside. What about external videos? Also not very impressed. Maybe it's an user error. I just got it 2 days ago, so So I shot around 20 videos, so might be the user error. Even when we were shooting outside, the quality of 4K module was subpar to 360 module, so there was much more grain and noise in the footage, especially when we shoot in the shaded areas, and stabilization was much worse. I checked 24p, 30p and 60p, and in each case stabilization was worse than with the 360 module. But it might be user error, so I will check all the options of the stabilization both in the camera and the application, and maybe there is better setting for it, but so far not impressed with the 4K module. Also with the camera itself, the touch screen interface is really laggy, and sometimes you click something and it does not react for your clicks, or you click something and something else opens, so kind of annoying. And the weirdest thing is that you can set the parameters for the video, so the resolution, frames per second, and the aspect ratio, and I shoot 16:9, and when I downloaded the video from the camera, it is still 4:3 video, but when you load it into the Insta360, it recognizes which setting was chosen. But if you want to edit this straight from the camera, you would be surprised it is 4:3, and then you have to reframe it yourself. So seems that Studio app is necessary step to prepare the footage for further editing. Although you can just edit it with the studio and export it as a final product. But if you use the log, then you have to apply LUT, and you are not able to apply LUT within the Insta application. So you need another step with, for example, DaVinci Resolve or one of the other products. You can choose not to shoot log and just export video from Insta app, and you should be happy. The quality is quite nice. It is still weird that even though you choose the aspect ratio, you got the whole 4:3 video, although it might save you if you got really bad framing. I'm not 100% sure with 4K 60 if this is also 4:3 or this one is with the proper aspect ratio. But this is one of the caveats, that the video you got from the camera is 4:3, and you either need to push it through the Insta360 app or you have to reframe it yourself. And regarding the app, I would say it's good, although I have found one bug. If you put your footage into the folder with UTF-8 character, then application crashes, so no Polish characters in the folder names, so probably any other characters outside of the Latin set. But other than that, the application is quite responsive. It uses CUDA cores for the processing and for example for noise removal, so it is nice. If you got NVIDIA card, then you got acceleration from your GPU, and the user experience is nice, both in the desktop version of the application and the cell phone version. So I cannot complain, although still for the cell phone version you need this 64-bit Android or iPhone, so check your phone first. I haven't checked the mic adapter yet, so I don't know, but the sound quality from the camera itself it is nice. Although if you sort through the wind on your scooter, then it's really windy, but you can remove the noise from the soundtrack either in post or in camera, because there are two noise reduction options, so you can remove the noise, or even if you remove the noise in the camera, then you can come back to the real audio in the app. And I guess that's it at the moment. Generally, I'm really happy with the 360 module, not very happy with the 4K module, although I would try it more and see if all the caveats are user errors. But at the moment, I can recommend the 360 version, cannot recommend 4K, but we'll see. I would create the full review after a month or two, and we'll see. Cheers, mate. Yeah, so this is the quick comparison between the quality of Insta4K and Sony a6600. I know that it is not fair, but to have a reference point, I'm using a6600, and my light is cranked up to 100% to be more fair for the smaller sensor.